G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at how you can complete the Android Cell Saga challenge for the Legendary Goku event completely free to play. The Legendary Goku event, or the Fighting Legend Goku event, is a long form event that came out quite a while ago now, but back in its day was probably one of the hardest events in the game. So I think for the most part, a lot of people will be interested in, seeing or joining in on the clearing of the missions to get some stones and to get some rewards. Now, obviously, we are trying to complete the missions free to play, and yeah, there's a couple kind of clinical, I want to say, very important units to bring along, and there are some units that are possibly a little bit interchangeable. In terms of the overall event, obviously it being a longer event with multiple phases, it is better to bring units that do stack. Generally speaking, that is something that helps out a lot of players. But yeah, overall that's kind of really the only thing to say. The Fighting Legend Goku event has dropped off in difficulty over the years, just due to the fact that it's gotten easier as units have gotten better. But in terms of our friend lead, I think it's a pretty obvious one. We're going to be taking the AGL Ultimate Life Form with immense power. Cell first form. This is a transforming Cell. Now he's better in his first two forms against multiple enemies, but as he transforms he slowly gets better and better against a single enemy, and he's going to be carrying our entire build quite significantly. So he's going to be doing a lot of our work, a lot of our payload, a lot of our damage. He's going to be pretty much carrying our run. Not that we wouldn't be able to win with another lead, but he makes it significantly faster and significantly easier. So a Cell perfect form is definitely the #1 route to go when you are looking at the friend lead. Once he gets to his perfect form, he's got attack and defense of 250%, plus an additional attack and defense of 50% when performing a super, plus an additional attack and defense of 50% when facing only one enemy. He also has a high chance of performing a critical hit and of performing evasion as well. So overall he's just a very good unit. Alongside him, or one of the more notable free-to-play units that we'll be using, is the 80% lead, and they're going to be our lead in the form of Android 17 and 18. The AGL LR friend summon Android 18 and 17. They are an all types lead of key +4 and HB attack and defense at 80%. They're not necessarily the wildest lead. I don't think we have a super high lead for the Android Cell Saga. The only free to play lead we kind of have is the Krillin. So there is the Super Int Krillin, who is a pretty good choice that you can get from the Battlefield currency shop, but I felt like maybe using units that were accessible from the events, although Krillin is a pretty good option. So if you are struggling, if you want to use a bit of a higher lead, then consider getting the Int Krillin from the shop. But for me, we used the Android 17 and 18, and we didn't really have any super negative experiences, I want to say. So we had a generally decent time with using the Android 17 and 18 LR, and so for the most part I wasn't too phased with how the team was constructed. They're obviously great. They have attack and defense of 78%. When performing a super attack, they give extreme class allies key +4, defense of 50%, which is super helpful, and they have an additional key +3 and attack of 78% and launch an additional attack, which is a medium chance of becoming a super attack when they are facing super class enemies. So obviously with Goku being super class, it's pretty, I want to say, good for them with the amount of damage that they do. And then the rest of the team kind of fills up nicely. So we're taking the Prime Battle LR Cell, pretty solid option, I want to say. He's not great in the sense that he definitely caps off, and he's going to cause us to have to use items. But overall, he's just relatively decent. He links somewhat okay with the AGL cell as well, which is one of the reasons why we bring him, just because he tends to allow us to somewhat activate some of the more crucial links on Cell. So when Cell gets to his max level, or in his Cell perfect form, we have like, you know, big bad bosses, which is super important. We also have shocking speed. We also have attack of the clones. We also have messenger from the future. So we do have, you know, some of the more crucial links for the AGL Cell, and that kind of outweighs the negativity of bringing him, well, not the negativity, the negative aspects of bringing a unit that can be capped. Because, you know, as this Cell, he has attack and defense at 20%, and he gets key +1 with each attack performed. When key is 18 or more, he also has an additional attack at 20%. And if the target is an attack down, he gets to perform a crit, although, yeah, that's kind of falls away pretty early on in the spectrum of the event. Then the other two units that we take are units that we've used quite a bit for some of these free-to-play challenges. The future Android 17 and Android 18, both of which are pretty solid options after their Extreme Z Awakening. They have attack and defense of 100%, with an additional attack of 17% for each key sphere obtained for Android 17, plus an additional attack and defense of 70% and a medium chance of performing a critical hit when your team has Android 18 Future attacking in the same turn. So obviously they're designed to run together, so we're going to kind of keep them as a, you know, pairing. Android 17 will launch an additional attack when there's a Hybrid Sands or Earthling category enemy, but this is obviously not super applicable in this event because Goku is pure sand. And then Android 18, Android 18 is pretty much the same. She gains attack and defense at 18% per rainbow key sphere obtained instead of 17% attack per key sphere obtained. And she gets an additional attack and defense of 70% and a medium chance of evading enemies' attacks when there's an Android 17 in the same turn. And same as Android 17, she has the ability to launch an additional super attack when there's a Hybrid Saiyans or a Earthlings category unit. So nothing too crazy there. I think most players will have seen these units quite a few times in my free-to-play videos, and generally speaking they are just very, very solid, very reliable units overall. And then the final two units are kind of just floating units. We have the Android 16, the Treasured Battle Device, the Super Strike Android 16. He raises defense for one turn on a super attack, but this isn't too relevant. He has attack and defense of 160% plus an additional defense of 80% when facing 2 or less enemies. He has a high chance of guarding all attacks with all allies attacking in the same turn like Android Cell Saga Category allies, and he guards all attacks when facing 3 or more enemies. He also reduces damage received by 60% when guard is activated. So he's a very powerful unit from the kind of guard perspective, and overall he's just pretty good, I want to say. Like, no cap, no disclaimer, or whatever people want to say. She's very good, and defensively he's very sound. Obviously it's only a high chance, 50% to activate his guard, but during the tech phases he's a very, very good tank, and obviously in general he's just very solid as well. And then finally, to wrap everything up, we have another Android 18. This time it's just Android 18 from the present timeline, and this is the one that's giving Krillin a little bit of affection. The Shocking Contact Android 18, she's also just pretty good. Attack and defense at 18% per Android's category ally on the team. Attack and defense at 18% with each attack performed, and gives all allies key +2 and attack and defense of 18%. She gives an additional key +1 and attack and defense 18% for Android's category units. There's a medium chance of launching an additional super attack when there's another Android's category ally attacking in the same turn. So overall, just a very good unit. She's not going to carry the run or anything, but she's just great to have around, provides synergy, helps us get key on a lot of our units, and just in general does a pretty good job, I want to say. So overall, the team runs pretty well. Yeah, I think for the most part there's not too many issues that I had with the team. I think obviously Most players will probably struggle with the lead. You have to do a lot of effort to get the, Allah friend Android 17 and 18 to their easy A. But once you've done that, you should be fine. Like, once you've done that, you should genuinely be okay. So for the most part, I don't think it's like a huge issue. Obviously, I think if you are struggling to get them or farm them, because it is quite a significant grind, I think maybe what you can do is you can maybe revert to getting the Int Krillin and kind of working from there. He's a better lead overall anyway, and he's fine for this event because he stacks attack and defense as well. So yeah, overall, I think genuinely speaking, pretty solid team, pretty solid event. I think obviously, for me at least, the event itself is a pretty straightforward one nowadays. Basically at this stage of the game, with any stacking units, you can kind of clear this event, or if your friend lead is just absolutely tremendous. But yeah, we managed to get things done, and it was a fairly easy run. But yeah, obviously overall, just a pretty good time. And yeah, I think in general, I was pretty happy with how the whole team came together and how everything kind of ran itself. But that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.